If you are dreaming about buying a new development property in Spain, whether as a holiday home, an investment, or your forever home under the Spanish sun, this video could save you thousands of euros and a massive headache. I have been helping international buyers purchase property in Spain for almost 15 years. And I met buyers who had made the same mistakes over and over again. Buyers who were excited, motivated, ready to sign, and then things went wrong. Not because Spain is a bad place to buy, it's one of the best real estate markets in Europe right now, but because the buyers didn't know what they didn't know. So today, I am giving you the top 5 mistakes to avoid when buying a new development in Spain. Stay until number 1. That one surprises almost everyone. Before we dive in, if you are new here, welcome. I am Daniela, the founder of The Real Estate Bee. I help international buyers find and purchase property in Spain, from the Costa del Sol to the Costa Calida to the Costa Blanca and beyond. I am here to help you avoid making these mistakes and enjoy the purchase of your property without worries, stress, and money loss. Okay. Let's get into it. Mistake number 5, not get your NIE, your NIE, early enough. This might sound like a boring bureaucratic detail, but it stops purchases dead in their tracks every single year. The NIE, Número de Identidad de Extranjero, is your Spanish tax identification number, and you absolutely cannot complete a property purchase in Spain without it. You cannot sign the deeds, you cannot pay taxes, you cannot do anything. Now, here is the thing with new developments specifically. The process from reserving your apartment to completion can take anywhere from a few months to 2 years. You might think, I have plenty of time to get my NIE. But when the developer calls you and says, we are ready to complete in 4 weeks, you do not want to be scrambling at the Spanish consulate in your home country trying to get an appointment. Often, good developers surprise you by being able to complete the sale earlier than expected. Get your NIE as early as possible. Your lawyer can guide you through the process, and it can often be done in your home country through the Spanish consulate. It is not complicated, but it needs to be done early because it takes some time. Pro tip: get your NIE at the same time you sign your reservation agreement. Do not wait. Mistake number 4, underestimating the true cost, especially the deposit. I cannot tell you how many buyers fall in love with a new development property, see the listed price, and then get a shock when they realize how much money they actually need up front. So, let me break this down very clearly for you. When you buy a new development, meaning a brand new property being sold by a developer, often off-plan, not a resale, you pay VAT instead of transfer tax. In Spain, that is 10% of the purchase price. And in most regions is equal to transfer tax, which is 10% too. Then you also pay stamp duty, known as AJD, which ranges from 1.2% to 1.5% depending on the region. Then you have notary fees, land registry fees, and legal fees. All in, you need to budget between 12 and 15% on top of the purchase price just for taxes and costs. Important, the difference between the VAT you pay on new developments and the transfer tax you pay on resale is not the amount. As I said, in most regions it's the same. It is when you pay it. VAT is paid on each single payment you make for your property, reservation, down payment, and purchase deeds. While transfer tax is paid once within 30 days from the signature of the purchase deeds. Therefore, part of the VAT cannot be financed by the mortgage, as you get the mortgage at the moment of the signature of the purchase deeds. And talking about mortgage, there is the mortgage reality. If you are a non-resident buyer, meaning you do not live in Spain full-time, Spanish banks will typically lend you a maximum of 60% to 70% of the property value, which means you need a minimum of 30 to 40% as a deposit, plus those 12 to 15% in cost. So in total, you could be looking at needing close to 50% or more of the purchase price in liquid cash before you ever get the keys. This is not meant to scare you. Spain is still absolutely worth it. But going in with clear eyes on these financials mean no nasty surprises. Pro tip, rule of thumb, have at least 40-50% of the property price available in cash before you start your search seriously. Mistake number 3, not doing legal due diligence on the developer and the project. New developments look beautiful in the brochure, CGI images, gleaming finishes, infinity pools overlooking the sea. But here is a question buyers rarely ask. Who is this developer? How long have they been building in Spain? Have they delivered projects on time before? Developer quality in Spain varies. There are fantastic, reputable developers who have been building for decades and deliver exactly what they promise. And then there are others who overpromise, miss deadlines by some months, or in the worst cases, run into financial trouble before the project is even completed. This is very rare, especially for big developers. Don't get scared. The really bad developers were wiped out with the 2007-2008 crisis, but better be safe than sorry. You also need to check the legal status of the project itself. Does the development have all the correct licenses? Is the land property zoned for residential construction? Will the development receive its first occupation license, which is called the Licencia de Primera Ocupación, when it's finished? Because without that license, you legally cannot inhabit the property or connect utilities, and you definitely cannot rent it out. Also, very, very important, are the funds you pay before taking possession of the home property insured and protected? In 2026, Spanish authorities have increased the scrutiny on planning permissions and zoning compliance significantly. This makes due diligence more important than ever, not less. Pro tip: your lawyer should verify all licenses and insurances before you sign anything. But do not worry much, buyers of new developments in Spain are much more protected by law than buyers of resale properties. Mistake number 2, not having a specialized lawyer. This is the mistake that breaks my heart the most because it is so avoidable. I often hear from buyers, and I could tell you several examples of buyers who used lawyers they found on the internet or they used for non-real estate related matters. Or worse, they decide to go on with no lawyer at all and end up finding themselves in trouble. Let me be very clear. The notary in Spain is not your lawyer. The notary verifies identities and certifies the signing of documents. They do not check whether the pool in the plans has planning permission. They do not check whether there are hidden debts on the land. And they intervene only at the moment of the completion of the works. I have seen buyers almost losing the purchase of their dream property because they used the wrong lawyer. A lawyer who was not specialized in real estate and was only trying to protect themselves instead of supporting their clients properly. You need a lawyer who specializes in Spanish property law. Ideally, one who speaks your language and who has experience in similar operations. Their job is to protect you. They will review the purchase contracts, check for hidden debts on the land, verify all licenses, ensure your deposit is properly protected in a bank guarantee, which is a legal requirement in Spain for off-plan purchases or with the right insurance policy, and handle the whole process from beginning to finish. This typically costs around 1% of the purchase price. It is one of the best investments you will ever make. Pro tip: never buy property in Spain without a specialized lawyer. Listen to the advice of the agent who may have clients who already successfully work with specialized lawyers and were fully satisfied. And finally, mistake number 1, going in alone, not working with an agency. And here we are. Mistake number 1, this is the one that surprises people the most, because in many countries, the assumption is, I can just go directly to the developer and get a better deal. Right? Wrong. In Spain, and this is the key difference, the developer pays the agent's commission, not you. So when you work with an experienced buyer agent like me, you pay nothing extra, zero. You get expert guidance, market knowledge, access to the best projects, and someone in your corner working for you, and it costs you nothing. You may think, but if the developer doesn't have to pay the agency, they will offer me a better price, right? Again, wrong. Developers never offer discounts. They sell many properties within the same promotion. They cannot afford to make a favor to a buyer, but not to the other one who buys the same type of property. So don't ever expect discounts on the price of new developments in Spain. How do you get better prices or better conditions? By buying in the very first phases of a new development and by making sure that You are informed when a developer makes a special offer, not a discount, but for example, better payment terms, 20% instead of 30% deposit, free installations of something, for example, outdoor kitchen on your terrace, or free furniture package. If you download my free buyer's guide from the description and join my VIP list, you will be informed about new developments, including when they make this type of offers. It goes beyond money. Think about what you are actually buying. A new development in a foreign country, in a language they may not be yours, with legal and administrative processes that are completely different from home, in locations you are not fully familiar with, and you are often doing this from thousands of kilometers away. A good buyer's agent knows which developers are reliable and which ones to avoid. They know which areas have the best rental potential or appreciation potential. They know what is coming to the market before it is publicly advertised. They handle the communications with the developer, organize the viewings, the coordination with your lawyer, the bank, the notary. They are your boots on the ground and your expert partner throughout the whole process. Going directly to the developer means you only see what that one developer is selling. If you are considering 20 developments, you must contact 20 developers. You have no comparison, no context, and no one looking out for your interests. The developer's sales team, however friendly and professional they are, works for the developer. With the agent, you talk to one person who scouts properties for you, in my case, across 3 different areas of the Mediterranean coast. Also, don't forget that new development properties sell very, very quickly. Developers will not dedicate you much time if you have questions or doubts, because while you are asking, another buyer calls them and buys the property you were interested in. Pro tip: in Spain, buyers do not pay agency fees on new developments. Working with a buyer's agent costs you nothing and gives you everything. So let's do a quick recap. The 5 mistakes to avoid when buying a new property in Spain. Mistake number 5, not getting your NIE early enough. Mistake number 4, underestimating total costs, especially the deposit requirement. Mistake number 3, skipping legal due diligence on the developer and the project. Mistake number 2, not having a reliable specialized lawyer. And mistake number 1, doing it alone without a buyer's agent. Avoid these 5 mistakes and you are already miles ahead of most foreign buyers in this market. Now, if you are seriously thinking about buying a property in Spain, I would love to help you. I work with international buyers every day, and my job is to make sure you find the right property in the right location at the right price, without the stress and without the mistakes we talked about today. The best place to start is my website, therealestatebee.com, where I have a curated selection of the best new developments currently available in Spain on the Mediterranean coast. You will find the link in the description below. You can also book a free consultation call with me directly. Whether you are just starting to explore the idea or you are ready to move quickly, let's talk. There is no pressure and no obligation, just a conversation to understand what you are looking for and whether I can help. I have collaborators in each location if needed, and we are all here to help you. Now, if you found this video helpful, Please share it with anyone you know who is thinking about buying in Spain. It could save them a lot of money and a lot of stress. Subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every week or about Spanish property market, specific areas, investment tips, and more, and some very interesting property videos coming up soon. For now, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.